I know the Houston Texans bye week was much needed, but I'm ready for it to be over. Don't worry, the Miami Dolphins will be here before you know it. But while we're on the bye week, worth noting a couple of players for the Texans that aren't stars have had really impressive seasons. And if they continue to have impressive seasons, man, down the stretch, the Texans are going to have a chance in all four of those games, and they'll have a chance in that playoff game. During the week when it's getting ready for a game, we call them Who Better Ball. This will do the Who Better Ball awards for the season up to this point. Keep an eye on these players. They need to perform really well down the stretch for the Texans to have a chance to go where they want to go. Let's get into it. Powered by my friends at BetUS. Let's start with a defensive lineman. How about Big Tim Settle there at the defensive tackle spot? Settle was a little bit of an afterthought this offseason. Texans chased Eric Armstead. They ended up with Daniil Hunter. That was their big investment on the defensive line. Tim Settle, hey, added. The jokes were there. Hey, they settled for Tim Settle at defensive tackle. Plenty of things that we didn't know about Tim Settle, and that was added to the equation when he didn't really play much in training camp. And then he hit the regular season, took him a few weeks to get his feet under himself, and then he turned into a key piece for this defensive line, and he's played a bunch at the defensive tackle spot with the suspension to Mario Edwards, the injuries to Foley Fatukasi, and just you can't keep him off the field. He's been a guy that's cleaned up some things for the Texans. He's helped in the run game. Him Settle at that defensive tackle spot, he gets a Who Better Ball award. And if he continues down the stretch, you think about some of these opponents the Texans are going to have. Devon Achane with the Miami Dolphins, Derrick Henry with the Baltimore Ravens, and then in the playoffs, trench warfare is where it is super important. Settle's a key piece to this team down the stretch, even though he's not a star. So he starts off our Who Better Ball awards. Let's go a little bit back behind Tim Settle for a player at the linebacker spot that's been playing the best football of his NFL career. That's second-year linebacker Henry To'oTo'o. To'oTo'o came into this season, and there was a chance some other guys were going to push him for a spot, or he was a little bit disappointing there down the stretch there in his rookie season, but he showed up in shape and ready to rock at that linebacker spot, and he's missed a handful of moments here or there, but for the most part, he's been steady at that linebacker position all season long. And with an Azeez Al-Shire being absent for 3 weeks, you're going to need Henry To'oTo'o, who's played a lot of football so far this season, to continue to playing at a really nice level. He looks quicker. He's diagnosing things better. He's more physical with ball carriers. And again, think about the opponents that the Texans are going to have. Miami can run the football. Kansas City's got their running back situation getting better as it goes on. The Baltimore Ravens, and then having to face a team that can run the football in the playoffs, To'oTo'o, is going to be super important. Plus, they've put Henry To'oTo'o in some interesting coverage positions opposing offenses have. He's going to need to continue to cover really well from that linebacker spot for the Houston Texans as teams try to exploit some of the injuries and some of the absences on this defense. But To'oTo'o, he gets a Who Better Ball award because he's been a non-star and has been playing very well for this team. You know who gets a award for being the best? My friends at BetUS. BetUS is the place to be when you want to wager, and they got that YouTube 150 code right now. They get you a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. You can already get in on the Texans and the Dolphins. The Texans favorites on the Dolphins. The look ahead to this matchup, I don't know if this is going to stick. This could be close to a pick 'em when it gets to that time. Wouldn't wager on it just yet. You want to see how the week leading up to the Dolphins game plays, but you can go ahead and get in on NFL awards, college football, basketball. BetUS has everything. And again, YouTube 150 is the code. Get that 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. Let's continue those Who Better Ball awards. Let's go a little bit further back to a defensive back / linebacker / safety / nickel cornerback, whatever. We call it the Pitre position because Jalen Pitre plays it. Jalen Pitre's been phenomenal this season. Now, he's hurt right now, and that's a key element to this Texans defense. No Jalen Pitre changes the way that they play coverage, but leading up to his injury, he was super impressive from that Pitre position, that nickel cornerback spot, that safety that transformed into a nickel cornerback this year. Is a great job by D'Amico Ryans to see that for Pitre, and a great job by Pitre to take to it like a fish in water and have a lot of success. He helped out a ton. in the run game. He helps out in coverage as well. The coverage, maybe you get a little bit worried about it, but he's had his fair share of victories to go along with the challenges at that position. But man, he just gets in there and tackles. He gets in there, plays hard-nosed football for this Texans team from that Pitre position, as I like to call it. And the sooner, the better he can get back, because it moves Jimmy Ward down to that nickel spot that Pitre was playing. He's got durability issues with all the wear and tear that he has in his long NFL career. That puts Eric Murray in coverage, and teams have been known to exploit Eric Murray a couple of times over the course of this season. So you want to limit that. You want to get Pitre back as soon as you can. They didn't put him on injured reserve, so it feels like they have a sense that he's going to be able to play sometime before the season wraps up. Man, it'd be huge to have him against Kansas City or Baltimore. But if you just have him back for the playoffs, that'd be a big one too. Jalen Pitre next on our Who Better Ball Awards. Let's wrap it up with a rookie. How about that? Kamari Lassiter's basically played every snap at cornerback opposite Derek Stingley. Yeah, he missed a little bit of time with the concussion, but he's basically never come off the field, just like Derek Stingley over the course of this season, and the rookie has held his own. Kamari Lassiter's been one of the best rookie defensive backs in the NFL this year, one of the better cornerbacks as a rookie in the NFL this year, and just overall, not even rookies. It's tough to throw on Kamari Lassiter. Now, I know the last game there was a little bit of a hiccup, and maybe it exposed some of the things that you can go at Kamari Lassiter with. Some of his aggressiveness gets him in trouble. Sometimes, if you remember back to the Buffalo game when Keon Coleman was able to take advantage of some of that aggressiveness, and Lassiter didn't quite wrap him up. And this last game against Jacksonville, they went at him quite a bit. But I'm not worried about Kamari Lassiter like I would be some other rookies that are about to hit the wall. He's a dog, both where he went to college, Georgia, and just how he approaches the game. I'm very excited to see how he finishes this rookie season and how strong he finishes this rookie season. And hey, when they start to throw in the playoffs, it's tough to throw on Derek Stingley, and it's tough to throw on Kamari Lassiter. That duo has been super impressive for the Houston Texans this season. Lassiter's done a great job. That's why he's on the Who Better Ball Award. He's not going to qualify for Who Better Ball if he keeps playing like this, okay? He could be nudging that star level here in the near future if he keeps playing as well as he's played for the majority of this season. What say you? Who wins the Who Better Ball Award for you? A non-star that's played really well up the course of this season? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Noted that there's no offensive players on this list. And no non-stars on offense have really shown up. You can't point to any of the wide receivers, certainly not the offensive linemen. Joe Mixon's a star. Nico Collins is a star. Larry Tunsil's had a nice season at left tackle. He's a star, so can't put them. No offensive players. Maybe down the stretch, we'll get some offensive players that show up and show out for the Texans, help push them over the edge. Wouldn't that be nice? Appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to visit our friends at BetUS. YouTube 150 is the code. Get that 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.